This is the Compass Update for July 22nd, 2022. Psalm 89 tells us this, that we're going to sing the faithfulness of God, and we're going to tell of the faithfulness of God to the next generation. That part of our responsibilities as loyal followers of Jesus is that we're going to sing God's praise. We're going to be thankful for his faithfulness to us. Isn't that true? He has been so faithful to us. And our primary responsibility is to tell of that faithfulness to the next generation so they too can trust in the faithfulness of God. I'm so thankful for South Lake Wales Church of God and your desire, our desire, to declare the faithfulness of God to those God has put around us, to be faithful to the great commandment and the great commission, to love God, to love others, and then to go make disciples. Tell the world about Jesus, but then draw them in to this faithful, loyal love of God and to be loyal back. You know, we've done so many things this summer to try to show the faithfulness of God around the world, from Christmas in July for the House of Blessing in Haiti, the dozens and dozens of baked goods that you have made for stay-at-home work camps, the effort that you put into our Vacation Bible School and the sports outreach into the community, that shows the faithfulness of God, and we're seeing fruit from that. We also did at the beginning of the summer, kind of the beginning of this fiscal year, a capital campaign to say, here are 5 things that are going to push the gospel mission of our church forward. These are things that we really need to do to show God's faithfulness and to be prepared, at least, to use tools to reach people. And we needed to get the CMC kitchen up to snuff, to get it where it needed to be. We needed some sports equipment in the gymnasium. We needed our driveway to not have dangerous potholes and to be rough and so on and so forth. We really needed some upgrades to the sound system in the sanctuary. And then there's that ever looming mortgage, and we wanted to make progress towards those things. And you know, you were so faithful, and particularly those first 4 things, from the kitchen to the sound system in the sanctuary. Your faithfulness has to this point met that need, and we're so thankful. A small update on that: we are diligently working on each one of those things to see it to fulfillment. We really want to take the first Sunday in August the 2nd, and celebrate God's faithfulness. We're going to have one more summer joint service in the sanctuary, 10 o'clock on August the 2nd. And the real focus there is to celebrate, to sing of God's faithfulness in all he's done. We want to celebrate that God is preparing us to reach the next generation, the next ones who don't know of his love. And your faithfulness has helped us to move in that direction. All of those things that we mentioned, the 4 things, won't be completed by August the 2nd, but we're still going to take a moment to truly celebrate God's faithfulness. In our desire to be transparent, the elders have put forward this week in the Compass Update, they've put forward a quarterly financial statement. It's always a tough thing to know how to record our finances and to then share them with you, because when we give it week on week, it's not a very clear picture, and it probably creates more questions than answers. But we've decided to put out a quarterly statement in our digital compass, and it will show you where we are. I'm excited about this. I want to make a couple of notes so that as you're reading through this and looking where we are, either A, you're not overwhelmed, or B, you know what you're looking at. And there's 2 things. One, I would say this: the state of our financial health is good, and that's an excellent thing to say. Secondly, there's probably something on this particular statement that you need to see and understand. There's a final line there before kind of the total that talks about depreciation. And this is just a business thing, good stewardship thing we have to do. We buy things, and just like you know, they depreciate over time. And in our accounting, Gail Hinton, our treasurer, has done a good job of catching up and getting depreciation to where it needs to be. So you're going to see a hefty chunk of depreciation at the bottom. I want you to know this. That particular line is something we have to do on paper, financially and legally, so that we are accurate. I want you to know that that is really just a number on paper. And we have to record it the way we did. So in the end, when you look at things, our giving to expense ratio, it's going to look like we're a little bit behind, about $10,000 behind. But in reality, without that depreciation, you'll see that we are more than meeting expenses right now, and things are doing well. I just wanted to point that out because we don't want to ever get to a point where we see a number and not understand it out of context and then become concerned. Now, giving in the summer is always a little bit lower than other times of the year, and so we call you into faithfulness. But I hope that you will see the transparency we want to have putting out these quarterly statements, and we're hopeful that they're going to give you a far better picture of where we really are financially. Overall, things look good. God is faithful, and thank you for being faithful to God. I'm looking forward to Sunday and getting to talk more about God's faithfulness. We'll see you at either 9 or at 10:15 on Sunday. God bless you, and have a great weekend.